Whoa, all right, thanks everybody for coming. By my instant counting, there's a good 400 people here. I'm making it up. There's easily 400. 600. More. 600. Really brilliant. Thank you very much for coming. And thanks to everybody in Teesside Solidarity Movement for getting all this together today. There's been lots of work, lots of printing and getting things in the streets. Cheers! Whoa! Yeah. Okay, we've got a whole range of speakers and we've got some music in between. So can I just get? We've spoken to a few people who are going to just do some short contributions. If you said you're going to speak, could you just come up towards the stage, this kind of area here? If there's anybody else who wants to come up and say something from different organisations or just personally, we're doing really short contributions, but if you want to make your way up to the stage, just around here. First of all, I'm going to put Mehdi on, who's going to speak, well, a member of UCU, member of the Asian community. He's going to speak.
Thank you very much. Perhaps many of you know me, and I know a lot of people here around, you know. This is after a long time. I'm going to say to you that we have organized this one, and this is a thing which we must be doing all the time. I was expecting more people to come from the community, but I welcome on behalf of the communities in the Middlesbrough Central, especially the black ethnic minority communities, who are really very much pleased to see that there is a lot of support coming from non-black people as well. And it is a great occasion when black and white community, local communities, everyone in fact is together on this particular issue. We are against racism. We have been fighting against racism for decades, you know. Some of these organizations which have mushroomed in the past several years, in fact, have been creating disharmony, hatred amongst communities there. And that is not what we expect, you know. We condemn thoroughly about such an attitude. We are British. We are, whatever we are here, we are not going away anywhere. We will be, actually we have contributed to the local economy, we have contributed to the culture of the society, and we will continue doing so. I remember in 1970s and 80s when there were no organizations, in fact, in this area to support the black people, ethnic minority people, Asian people, and so on. And at that time, we created an organization. At that time was Racial Equality Council. And at that place, you know, we made changes. We effected changes in not only in Middlesbrough, we effected changes in Hartlepool, we effected changes in Stockton, we effected changes in Redcar and Cleveland. Many friends of mine, many colleagues of mine are here, like Ian Jeffrey from Redcar and Cleveland, I've seen after a long time. John McPartland is here, who has been with us for the past 30 years, I can say. I have been supporting him. He has been supporting all the community all the time. And it is a great pleasure for me, in fact, to see that that support is still there for black ethnic minority communities. On behalf of the committee itself, right, on the behalf of the Asian community, Pakistani community, Indian community, Bangladeshi community, all the communities, we are grateful for this unity. And we will continue to have this united front all the time against racists, fascists in the country itself, you know. And I thank you again, once again. There are many friends of mine which are present in today, after I'm seeing many people after 20 years time, One of my very good friend was from the University of Teesside, who was a president of the Students' Union. At that time, when there was no support coming for us, he was the person who printed leaflet for us, He actually did work free of charge at the university, and I am very gratefully indebted to him as well. I thank many people here. I can see many councillors here, which I am grateful to see them at this point here. And I again congratulate you for this very good and big assembly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mehdi. Next, instead of the speaker, was Craig. Craig, can't be there. Craig, please. Big moment, I miss you.
Can you all see me?
You need a stool, Craig. Stand up.
I need a milk crate to stand on, I think. No. Some of you might know me. I made a film about Teesside's history called The Century Stone. 10 years ago, it was on the cinema down the road for a month. And it was a history of our proud working class history in this area. A history of 150 years of inequality and working class struggle, ultimately. And when I see things happen like the rise of the EDL and Britain First, it breaks my heart really, because I see working class people being exploited. Young lads who are rightfully angry, but they don't know what they're thinking about. They're going after the wrong target. I wrote a letter to the EDL because I'm sure there's some of them within us today watching and recording me now, so please do it and stick it on your website. Dear EDL and Britain First, who sent our boys into two futile and pointless wars that left 632 dead, thousands wounded, and 1 million Iraqis and Afghanis dead? Who used 30 billion of public money to pay for it? And who's using 83 billion of public money to fix an economy broken by the banking billionaire elite? The answer to both is not the Muslims. It's the government. It was the government of New Labour. Tony Blair has made 80 million since leaving office. A Middle East peace envoy, what a joke. And it's about this government now, the Tory Liberal Democrat Condemn Alliance. Because at the end of the day, go back 150 years in Middlesbrough, people, I'll give you a little history lesson, because I'm good at that. We had the biggest company in the world. The biggest steel-making company in the world, Bolton Vaughan, built this town. The biggest, richest company in the world. And Middlesbrough was absolutely poor. It always has been. It's always been the worst for unemployment, the worst for poverty. It's always been the government. And it's never been the minorities. End of story. Cheers.
That's great. Next we've got Councillor Dave Good. Can I Dave on the here? Thanks for coming, Dave.
I'll be brief. As Craig has said, this town has been built over the last 180 years with people who've come here from all over the country and all over the world, and it continues to be built on that. We should be proud of what we've got. We should be positive about the town. We must be positive about the town. This town is about the mailer. It's not about a disgusting advert for the EDL. The mailer is about what we're about. That's my Middlesbrough. Last night in the crypt, there was a small event, and one or two of the people who were performing there are here today. These were people from all over the world who live in Middlesbrough, who got together and played music and enjoyed their company and promote the town. This is a hopeless mic. So let's just continue to be positive about the town. Say what's good about it. Say what's good about the communities that are gathered here. And I hope that if we do that, that the EDL will simply not come here anymore. They are not welcome here and shouldn't come here again.
Next we have Louise. Louise? What you Louise? Can you manage? Oh, well, it's dangerous.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Sorry about this. I would like to just say part of the community. I've been told that all my life to speak up. My wife said it this morning. I'm part of the community, and I just wanted to say, be the change you want to see. Instead of just sitting in, your living room, back in the cinema, wherever you are, complaining about little things, the little changes that you do for yourself have the greatest effect on other people around you. The best way to put it is just look at the butterfly effect, where they say the small wings of a butterfly can create a small wind and then a hurricane thousands and thousands of miles away. Whereas butterflies of all different colours, we are butterflies ourselves. We are all the same, so just hold hands together.
Thank you, Louise. Somebody up and down them steps. Okay. Councillor John McPartland, please. If there's any members of the community who want to come up and kind of line up down here, we'll get you up.
Ladies, gentlemen, today the fascists, the Nazis, have invaded, once again trying to infect this town with their malevolence, the way they look on other people, they look on them as worthless. I'm proud to be here today because I'm with so many people like myself who detest the vile philosophy of Nazism. But remember, today isn't the first time that we've had this town infected by Nazis. Behind me, when I was 2 years of age, the Nazis invaded, but it was up there in the air, dropped the bombs on the Cannon Street area, and because of the dreaded, hateful Nazi philosophy, a dozen people died. 300 metres in that direction is the railway station. In 1942, the Nazis had a go at that. Innocent Middlesbrough people died as a consequence. Ubel School, which is now where the magistrates' courts are, that was hit by a Nazi bomb as well. So we've had these Nazis in this town before. They were beaten in the 40s. They're going to be beaten in the new century which we've begun. It's wonderful to be here with so many good people. All that is necessary for the survival of evil and Nazism is that good people do nothing. You are good people and you are doing something.
Thank you, John. Another speaker down front.
Right. Hello everybody, my name is Marsha. I'm very proud to be from Middlesbrough, born and bred. I'd just like to share a little story with you. About 15 years ago I was attacked by a group of racists and beaten, and it affected me so much. I didn't ever want to stay in Middlesbrough. I left and I promised I'd never come back to this town. But they didn't beat me, I beat them. I came back to this town. I came back to this town and now I work with young people and I work with a lot of ethnic minority young people, and racism affects all of them. Racism is still a problem. We shouldn't pretend it doesn't happen. It's not sorted. We all need to keep working against it. I'm very proud to work for a project called Cllr Len, and this is one of our posters. This poster has been designed by young people. It's their idea. It's their way of taking that anger, that fear, that segregation that racism causes and turning it into something positive. That's what I'm here to represent, positive young people against racism. And I'm very pleased you're all here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Marsha. Thank you,
the back. Good. Hi, my name's Niamh O'Toole, and I'm really, really pleased to see you all in this demonstration, especially the members of the Black and Asian community. I'm really, really pleased that you've turned out, because I think it's the hardest thing for your community, because you face the worst form of oppression in terms of harassment and also in terms of being attacked personally, like the last speaker so bravely spoke about, and actually in actually experiencing the oppression that actually it floods your daily life, particularly, of course, the Islamophobia that the EDL spew with hatred and bile. So that's the first thing I wanted to say. The second thing I wanted to say is that I wanted to thank everybody in the Teesside movement for actually creating this demonstration, because actually it's turned into an absolute triumph. It's a triumph of solidarity with lots of different groups working together. It's a triumph of the community. It's a triumph that people could bring their families, and also it's a triumph to self-discipline, because we are here to be peaceful, united, black and white together. That's what we're here for. We're here to expose their divisive, hateful policies. The other thing that I wanted to say is how fantastic it is to see that the unions are involved. So, for example, the No to EDL Borough campaign involved the Teesside Solidarity Movement. It involved anarchists, the anarchists, what are they? Tell me the anarchists, you know the name. So there you go. And it also involved the UAF. It involved lots of other different groups on the left, and we worked together. We had 3 weeks of organising meetings. Everybody's worked really, really hard. My branch, which is the Community Unite branch, which is the branch for unemployed people, is one of the reasons why you see so many Unite flags today. And that's one of the other reasons I wanted to say. One of the things that continually comes up for people that work is how much the racism that's being whipped up, not just the Islamophobia, not just the stuff about the Muslim schools, UKIP, how in their workplaces some people are actually anti-racist, but how in some workplaces it's a real battle on your hands, depending on where you work, to actually raise those arguments about racism. And one of the things that's so fantastic to see is that you've got Unite Community, which is an unemployed branch. We fight ATOS and all of that sort of stuff, and we try and have solidarity with PCS who go on strike. But also, you know, you've got other groups like Unison, you've got other groups that fight racism, you've got the post office who refused in the past to deliver BNP leaflets, and hopefully we'll get something going with the post office where maybe they refuse to deliver UKIP leaflets. And that fight back against poverty, against racism, against homophobia, and the Tories, let's not forget the Tories, will mean that in those workplaces, in our communities, we can not only expose that racism, but what we can really do is people work together to say the responsibility for unemployment, poverty, deprivation rests with the capitalists, the bankers, and the Tories.
Thank you very much. Standing on those stairs. Barbara, you up? But Barbara's coming first, you know. Come behind if you want.
Hello everybody, I'm Barbara. I'm a nurse, I work in the health service, so I'm suffering the effects of austerity, and I work with people who are suffering the effects of austerity. I'm part of the People's Assembly. It's a national organisation that meets in towns. We've got a local branch here in Teesside. While our main focus is on meeting the austerity measures and actually encouraging the government to invest in public spending and solve the problems for young people, for the housing problems, the health problems, rather than saving money to give it to bankers, we're also united against fascism. What the austerity measures do are they separate communities, they divide communities, they set black against white, rich against poor, poor against poor. A lot of the time it's poor against poor. It's always somebody, your neighbour's always somebody else. They're always different to you and you should hate them for it. That's not what this event's about today. This event's about loving your neighbour, loving to live in Middlesbrough. I don't live in Middlesbrough, I live in Stockton, so it's not just Middlesbrough, it's the whole of Teesside who are against the EDL today. Okay. My final message is something I've just heard somebody saying in the crowd, and I said I'm going to pinch that when I get a chance to speak. Our message to the EDL today is what you're doing over here, walking our street and drinking our beer. Go back where you came from.
Well said, Barbara.
I'm Jean. I'm a member of the University and College Union. I teach at Teesside University on a 0 hours contract, and I just wanted to say that we oppose fascism, we oppose racism, we fight for equality, and it's fantastic to see you all here today.
Thank you very much. We've got two more speakers here, and then 3 more speakers, and then we're going to get some music on and have a bit of fun and games. This young man's next, and then Shamal Biswas.
Hi folks, peace, solidarity, salam alaikum. I'm speaking on behalf of Unite Against Fascism, a national organisation which had a conference recently of 400 people and in London, and there's absolutely no doubt that we face a really serious problem in this country with the rise of racism, with the fact that UKIP got a big vote in the election. So we have a real challenge on our hands, and I think that it's brilliant turnout today. We were involved in organising demonstrations up in Newcastle and around the country. It's absolutely vital that we do get on the streets. But there's another side to this as well. If the EDL and UKIP and the BNP and the rest of the fascists and the racists represent the politics of hate and division, we have to say what's the alternative, and I'll give you one alternative that's coming up fairly soon. The 10th of July, in response to the austerity measures and the cuts pushed through by the Tory government, it looks like something like 1.5 million people in this country will be on strike against austerity and against the cuts. 1.5 million people taking to the streets and in strike action is the sort of solidarity and unity we need in order to beat just the Tories, not just the Tories, but also fight back against racism and fascism, because on all those picket lines, will be Asians, Muslims, Christians, Jews, atheists, socialists, together saying no to racism, no to the Tories, EDL, go to hell.
Thank you. Catherine, then Shamal, and then Lawrie. We're going to get some music on just now, guys. It won't be all speakers, I promise you.
My name is Catherine. Can you hear? My name is Catherine. I'm a trustee of Justice First. We are a local charity which works with people who have sought protection in the UK with refugees. And I think a message which is not made public often enough is that those who come to Middlesbrough, and I include Stockton, say how welcoming people are, how happy they are to be in Middlesbrough. And I received an email from a young man who was a child soldier just last week. He was very troubled when he arrived here. He's now just finished his degree in London. And he said to me, I was sent to the right place at the right time in my life and to the right people. It was the people here who supported him when he needed it. And I think that is the message that needs to go out about Middlesbrough. As the granddaughter, great-granddaughter of Irish people who came to Middlesbrough, came to this area, would my family have been the object of the hate that we can feel just down the road? I would say let's look at the very positive things, the very positive feelings that there are in Middlesbrough about our refugees, about our people seeking asylum, about anybody who comes to our town. And we are better for their presence. My life has changed for the better, meeting people from other communities, other countries, other religions. My life has been changed. I have been changed. And the more that we get to know the people who are in our midst, perhaps all our lives will change for the better.
The young lady getting about the audience.
Hiya, my name's Leah, and I just want to say the reason that I hate racism is because judging people for who they are, and like it's saying that if they're different, just say to them, well, everyone's different, aren't they? Like no one is the same. Even twins are different. Even like twins are different. They all have different personalities, and like it's not what's on the outside of us. It's like what matters, what's inside.
Thank you very much, Shamal. Well done. Shamal Biswas.
Hi there all. Welcome to Middlesbrough. My name is Councillor Shamal Biswas. I'm proud to be British and I'm proud to be black. Right? Can I tell you something? I wasn't going to come in here, but I thought I'll share with you. This has just happened just over an hour ago as I was walking past some of these idiotic EDL people. One of them confronted to me and said, why don't you go back to your effing country? And this is exactly what I told this guy. I said, here mate, nothing against you, but I tell you one thing, what makes me different from you? Nothing. I was born here, you were born here. I work in this country, you probably don't work in this country, right? And I tell you one thing, these idiotic EDL people, I probably pay more tax than all of your family will put together earn. So I have every bloody right to stay in this country more than you have. EDL, you were never welcome in this town. EDL, you tested your time. You knew that you will be booted out of this town. So please, next time, don't even think of coming to Middlesbrough because you are not welcome in Middlesbrough. Get back, EDL, out from this town. Never will be welcome in this town. And the next time, you will be confronted with even more of against people like yourself. So get back. Thank you.
Okay, everybody, I just want to make a very quick announcement. The police have said that we have to disperse by 2 o'clock, okay? So we've got about 40 minutes to go. And while I'm here, I'll just mention a few things. My name's Pete Widlinski, and you can tell by my name that I'm a foreigner. I came here from Somerset to seek sanctuary in Middlesbrough, and Middlesbrough people have been so fantastic, I think. I've worked with refugees, with migrants, with the BME communities, with all sorts of people. We had a fantastic anti-apartheid movement in Teesside, and there's a number of us who were involved with anti-apartheid, the campaign against apartheid a number of years ago. And it's great to see that people are still here. We don't want the EDL coming into our town. They come from all over the place. They're not from Borough. What rights have they got here to spread their lies, their hatred? People in Middlesbrough, I think, are one of the nicest people I've ever been in. And it's actually been recognised nationally that there's very few problems in Middlesbrough with the BME communities. And we need to keep it that way. So those people can just bugger off back to where they're supposed to be and leave us all alone, okay? Just very quickly, when I set up the stage this morning, one of the managers from one of these shops came out and he said, which lot are you with then? He said, are you with the people who want peace and harmony, or the other lot? And I said, peace and harmony. And he said, good, because there's some bloody idiots in this country, and I'm really proud to be supporting what you're doing here. So thank you very much, everybody, for coming, and we'll go on to the next speaker.
Yeah, one last speaker, I think, at the minute, unless there's anybody else sticks their hand up. I'll just quickly say the reason I got involved with this was this guy behind me, Lawrie Combs. So I'm going to put hands together, Lawrie, please.
Okay, thank you everyone for coming. Let's give everyone a big round of applause for everyone coming here today! Yeah! All right, come on. Well, my name's Lawrie Combs and I'm from the Teesside Solidarity Movement. And one of the things we stress is that, you know, at a time when the government are making cuts, are making us work harder for less money, when they're making cuts to our services we need, when they're closing down fire stations, the last thing we want is division. What we need is unity. Unity, all of us together. Those people over there, they're brainless, they're idiots. They have no idea. We need to be united, and the Teesside Solidarity Movement is here. Every time they turn up, we will help work with others to mobilise to keep them off our streets. Yes. I'm going to end it there because you're probably sick of speakers. But once again, a big round of applause for everyone. Solidarity, everybody!
We have one more speaker, Hassan Mehdi. Oh, here we are, here. I'm going to hand over to Hassan.
Hi everyone. Assalamu alaikum. With the peace with you. Thank you very much for everybody coming here. I am proud to be here. In Islam, there is one phrase in Quran say, who save one soul is like save all humanity. Or who save one soul, meaning save all souls, which is include animals, plants, anything. Who kill one soul is like killed all souls. When I was in Iraq, I faced dictatorship, I faced sanction, I faced bad time. I came here, I was very destroyed. But people like you give me home, give me hope, and make me happy person, better person. Against Islamophobia, against capitalism, against all nasty in the world. Thank you very much. You give me hope, you give my children hope. I hope the future will be better, I hope the town will be better. Iraq now go back to same direction because war bring war. Argument bring argument, fighting bring fighting. Please continue with your peace, with your love, and hopefully all the world will be same like your faces. All faces, different race, different religions. And where's the person who speak about different religion? He say Salaam alaikum. And he say to the ADL, go to hell. No, 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 no. We wish they will be better people and they will not go to hell. I wish they join us and the world will be better. Thank you very much.
Okay, this really isn't a speech. We've had some fantastic speakers, so thank you very much to all of them. I get the dirty end of the stick just to give you some very brief factual information, particularly about safety today. I can't see what's happening up there at the other end, but I think the EDL will be sort of gathering together and setting off about 2 o'clock. Just to let you know where they will be. We think that their route is going to be between Corporation Road, Albert Road, then onto Borough Road and finishing up on Melrose Street. That's the latest information we've got. So if you want to be keeping away from those people, keep out of that sort of square of Corporation Road, Albert Road, Borough Road and Melrose Street. The other thing is that the EDL they're planning to go back to the pubs that they started off with, which is the Pig Iron, not surprisingly, the Pig Iron and the Central. So I would certainly keep away from the Pig Iron and the Central later on, and probably the Princess Alice as well. We can't tell where they're going to go, but I think there's a good chance that they will be going there. So keep away from those places. And well, two very quick points then. The other thing is, we are all quite visible today in red. So it really is best, if, just for your safety's sake, if you can make your way home or away from here in 2, 3 small groups. It's all just common sense, you know all that stuff, but there are fascists in town and they may be breaking away from the main demo. So just keep your eyes open, think about your own safety and become responsible for each other. That's been exactly our principle today. And very finally, an advert. You'll find Teesside Solidarity Movement on Facebook. So just find us on there. There are regular meetings if you want to get involved in anti-cuts campaigns, against the bedroom tax, ATOS and against racism. You'll also find North East Anti-Fascists on Facebook as well. So, right, that's it. We're going to get back to some music, have some fun. Have a great day.
Couple of quick points. One is, if any of you guys have got the banners, the unison banners or the community banners, before you leave, if you could bring them down to the stage and just put them on the stage anywhere you like, and we'll collect all those up so they're not left lying about. I want to thank all of you guys who've come, but you know that the one group of people we haven't thanked yet, and we don't do it very often, is our police. We've got 300 police on the streets of Middlesbrough today keeping us safe, and we want to thank them for their support and for keeping us safe through this. So please have a good afternoon, stay safe, don't let the bigots up the road get to you. Remember, these are our streets, not their streets. Thank you very much for coming.